Did you know your credit card points and miles can lose value to inflation? Credit card companies often reduce the redemption value of your points and miles. Now, imagine a credit card with rewards that can grow in value. With the Gemini credit card, you can earn Bitcoin or one of over 50 other cryptos instantly with no annual fee. Every swipe at the store or gas pump earns you instant rewards deposited straight to your account. Plus, sign up now for a $200 Bitcoin bonus to kickstart your rewards. Visit Gemini.com/card today. Check out the link in the description for more information on rates and fees. Again, if you're looking to invest in Bitcoin but don't know where to start, the Gemini credit card makes it easy.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
It's good to have you on board. Thanks for watching today on YouTube TV. Thanks for listening on Sirius XM channel 158 on iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, or any of our great affiliates across the country. In this hour, Paul Stone coming up in 30 minutes. Best bets in college football for the weekend. In 45, we'll step inside our Pizzeria, long shot bets that would pay off quite handsomely. And right now in the Major League Baseball playoffs, the Cubs are leading the Padres by a score of 2-1. And Mason Miller now is on the mound as we're playing in the bottom of the seventh. I want to see if he's going to throw one to go over this prop of 102, fastest pitch by any player in the playoffs at 102.5 miles an hour. But from what I was watching this at bat during the commercial break, he was throwing a lot of off-speed stuff here. But that dude threw 104.1 miles an hour earlier this year. And there are multiple guys, I think, in the playoffs who can go over 102.5 with the gun today. Eddie Vedder sang the seventh inning stretch wearing the Rhino jersey.
Yeah, good for him.
I would rather have Eddie Vedder in that jersey play that Super Bowl halftime show than Bad Bunny.
That's right.
I would have also preferred him over Coldplay 10 years ago.
You don't even need Pearl Jam. Eddie Vedder
No,
by
just
himself.
have him go out there, sure.
Not a problem. Absolutely.
Yep.
So will the Padres score? 3.5 now, the in-play total at DraftKings.
Yeah,
and William Hill. So
that's pretty much what you're betting, right?
Again, what is going on with this team on the road? That's another thing. It's why I bet the Cubs to win the series, and good luck tomorrow if your season's on the line and it's Dylan Cease. Cubs 50-31 at home. Friars 38-43 on the road. Also, the 24-34 against playoff teams. Minus 47 run differential.
Yeah, not a great recipe.
So again, the bats are silent, and they can't get anything going here. And Cubs bullpen nails it down, and they'll take it a big win. I am shocked. I'm shocked. Since the new format with this best of 3 to start, 10 of the 12 have been sweeps.
It's been kind of disappointing for sure in terms of overall like entertainment and drama purposes. And there was a strikeout by Mason Miller. Again, he's throwing a lot of off-speed stuff here to the Cubs. Not really going guns a-blazing, but we would hope, right, as like just fans of the sport overall and playoff baseball, you're like, oh, let's get a Game 3 here. But it does not happen very often. I'm on the website right now, vsin.com, and we talk about this a lot throughout the entire regular season. But the K-prop projections will continue, courtesy of our friends over at Ballpark Pal. And the two players that they are on the most tonight, based on the current numbers, Hunter Green for the Reds. They are projecting him for 7.44 Ks in the game. And they actually made it, I believe, over 7.5 at plus 111. You can get over 7.5 at plus 265 in that range. Now, these numbers are changing when the odds, obviously, in the marketplace either come up or go down. That is a 72.99% value bet based on their overall projections. And the other guy is in the same game, Pauly, Blake Snell. For the Dodgers, they are projecting him for 8.59 Ks in the game. And they made the projected line of 8.5 at minus 106. You can find 7.5 over like plus 165. So they have a 36.36% value bet on Blake Snell going over. If their projections are right.
He strike out the side?
Did he come in and do it?
Wow. Gas. Filthy. Go ahead.
I just to have some action on these games today.
Yep.
The later ones anyway.
Good numbers, good action.
I parlayed.
He is, both pitchers are 16.5 outs at DK. Snell was great the last 3 starts. The Reds were awful against lefties this year. They also, I was looking at his props during the break. They did a good job on Ohtani. You can get big prices out there on him to have a double. Pretty good price on a stolen base. He went 3 of 25 this year against the Reds. And the regular season, if it matters to you, Dodgers won 5 of 6 and pounded them, outscored them 30-15.
I'll point this out, too, with Green. His splits, now, where he pitches at home, the Great American Ballpark, that's typically a hitter's ballpark, but he was great there this year. He had a 1.58 ERA at home during the regular season. That ballooned up 3+ runs on the road, 4.81 overall. The whip was 0.72 at home. It's higher than 1.3 on the road. And so I guess that could be a factor in the game tonight as well. If he doesn't come out and have his A game, at the top of the Dodgers lineup would get to him.
No, all the pressure's on the Dodgers. With that payroll, the Reds aren't supposed to be here. You haven't won a playoff series since 95. You can come in loose. If Green steals game 1, you're only a couple games over 500.
Isn't Blake Snell a tough nut to crack for you? Like, which version are we going to get tonight?
I think he'll be good.
Because he could come out there. He can strike out 12 in 6 innings and completely shut him down.
Yeah, I expect a good start. I'd be shocked if they rough him up.
Well, he's got to avoid the walks, though.
Yeah.
He can't have like 5 walks in 4 innings and his pitch count's going to be at 92.
Now, can they go back to back? You mentioned earlier we might regret looking at 5-1 and not taking it. It hasn't happened.
7-1 now.
Oh boy, we haven't had a back-to-back World Series champ in 25 years. The Yankees won 3 in a row, 98 to 2000. The 24-season drought, the longest in the history of all 4 major North American sports leagues, and how the Dodgers struggled down the stretch playing 500 ball from the 4th of July on.
Or
I don't know what to get involved with the props too. I'm just going to enjoy it as a fan and maybe do something in play. But I expect a strong start for Snell, and I did bet the Guardians tomorrow. Season on the line, $1.20. Bybee against Mize.
I'll go one more. Are we looking at a repeat of the World Series from a year ago, much like the Stanley Cup Final, where we got back-to-back Florida against Edmonton?
Interesting.
I would love to see the Mariners make it, but I mean, nothing would surprise me.
Yeah, I'd give the Yankees the edge against the Blue Jays. Even though Toronto won the regular season and Toronto would have home field, I still think the Yankees would win that. And I would love to see Seattle get there, but I got to, with the uncertainty of Wu, but that home field advantage is phenomenal, and how the studs are hitting down the stretch. But I don't know. That's a tough call. It's wide open. Absolutely wide open. What if Detroit wins tomorrow? I mean, you got that guy to start game 1.
Of course, he's going to have the edge against anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So the Yankees, again, keep this in mind. How big of an afterthought they were. Did you realize, Pauly, that they got in the mix for the most wins in the month of September? If the Guardians would have gotten swept by Texas, the Mariners did get swept by the Dodgers.
Close it out, right.
There could have been a dead heat, and the Yankees could have been involved.
Yeah.
With how many, and that's, I don't know if people don't realize how hot they were, but that long winning streak and the offense obviously firing on all cylinders. And now you look up, you're like, well, maybe I can trust some of those guys in the pitching staff.
Maybe I look stupid with recommending unders on Judge and Ohtani. But again, Judge has to prove it to me based on how bad he's been and the postseason struggles. And he's become an automatic out and chasing the garbage away, hitting 165, 35 strikeouts in 23 games. 3 for 15 against Crochet. I mentioned Rosario, who's supposed to be in the lineup. 6 for 9 with a double and a home run career against Crochet. But it's a big one tonight because I don't like their chances tomorrow with Bayo against Rodon. And then I don't know what they're going to do if there's a game 3. But I would say Crochet out's over, and Fried has been awesome. But there's a lot of firepower here with the offenses and what they do. And Fried was 6-0 with a 1.55 over his last 7 starts, as he was so good.
Yeah,
he was also great numbers against Boston. But it's just phenomenal that these rivals are going at it right off the bat. And in the last 9 playoff meetings, Boston have won 8 of them, if you can believe that.
Well, so with this now price on Crochet for the full game, isn't that a little tempting to you?
Is the series price too high? Yeah, that's not 210.
It's kind of high.
Yeah.
I mean, Fried's awesome, but
this guy's
with Crochet's numbers full year against anybody, and then also against the Yankees, 13 Ks per 9 basically. You can grab him at plus a quarter here at Circuits plus $1.21.
Yeah,
he could just outduel Fried and go out there and say, all right, boys, I saw what Skubal did earlier today. Here comes 7 innings right in your face, and you're going to strike out 13 times.
Wow. Some of these numbers have come down. DraftKings has $1.70 now on the Yankees. The Dodgers I saw as high as 310 or 260. The adjusted series price, Detroit is minus 310, and you can bet the Cubs right now minus 250 to win the series.
I saw the Dodgers as low as 240 yesterday when I was looking around. But so they're obviously differences throughout every book they're going to look at for the most part. Not really copying and pasting, or they're taking action and moving them quicker than other books as well. So I don't know. I don't mind the angle. If you could bet the first 2 games, and this would be just like a rollover parlay, Boston game 1, Yankees game 2, and then just stop.
Good. Did you go outside at all during the show? Did you go outside the studio at all? The whole book has the Cubs.
I'm not surprised.
It was so loud after the second home run. And now another
I could hear from in here.
Well, the whole book, it's a good crowd, and the whole book has the Cubs. They're going crazy every pitch, and they just struck Tatis out. Some of these other great props that were up at William Hill and DraftKings. 6 RBIs in a game, yes, plus 250. Immaculate inning, 22-1. Someone hit for the cycle, 9-1. Consecutive hits by one team, 4.5. Most runs by a team in a single inning, 6.5 over minus 150. Will someone steal 3 or more bases in a game, 2-1? Walk-off wins for the playoffs, 3.5. Daily grand slam, 4-1. Back-to-back home runs already happened. Will a game go 12 innings? No, plus 220. Grand slams, 2.5 under 120. Extra inning games, 3.5. Will a team hit 5 or more home runs in a game? Yes, $1.30.
And by the way, that was fast. Thanks everybody on X for chiming in, including Big Boy R, and also where's the other one that I just saw moments ago? Paul and others. It appears as if Mason Miller threw one at 102.9 miles an hour.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so that should
Is
already
that
be
right?
a winner.
That's a winner. All right.
We'll react to what we saw Monday Night Football, feedback to our top 5 and bottom 5 power-rated teams in the NFL coming up next here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Hit some NFL here. Right now, Pauly, we are looking at games coming up for Week 5 in the NFL. Now, think about this for a second. The look-ahead line, Houston at Baltimore, was the Ravens minus 9.5. That was last week. This week, the opening number was Baltimore 6.5. When I guess everybody just thought that Lamar was going to be playing. Then it dropped down to 3.5, and it has completely flipped because now he has been ruled out of this game, and he could miss the week after that as well when they play the Rams. More on that in a second. So now Houston is a 2.5-point favorite.
12-point move?
On the road against Cooper Rush in Baltimore?
Yeah. Oh, God. How about he'll be back, but imagine if something happens and you're thinking, that Thanksgiving game I can't play, but, Cincinnati, Baltimore is going to be tough. It's probably Browning against Cooper Rush.
Oh, well, I mean
you hope he's back, but still,
sure.
What could happen there? And I had to take plus 270 today from the missed the playoffs.
As did I.
Out 2 to 3 weeks, and I got a little bit of confidence in Cooper Rush, but between the injuries on defense, can't stop anything, can't get Henry going. You're going against a nasty defense. This escalated quickly. And Mr. Eccentric, Mr. Rogers could be in the playoffs now. Because you have to, it's fascinating with that division because you have to rule out Cleveland and Cincinnati. But this opens a door for Pittsburgh to get in there now.
Right. So, again, earlier today, Pittsburgh I saw still plus 220 to win the division. This was after the Lamar Jackson news came out. And the updated win total in Baltimore was still 10.5. Now, if you go crazy here and bet all that to happen, and it gets there, you're going to have a great end of the year and when those tickets cash. However, what if Lamar is only out for this week? He comes back. They beat the Rams going to the bye week.
I think you're being
too wishful thinking there.
Yeah, I think he misses 3 games. Can't mess around with the hammy.
Well, okay. So then the Westgate here in Las Vegas sent out the look-ahead lines for Week 6. We'll hit on all of them tomorrow. We do it on a weekly basis.
Love it.
Did you see the Rams game?
I did not.
They are 4.5.
Wow.
at Baltimore. And I would actually ask this. If Houston's 2.5 right now, the Rams at 4.5, I guess maybe because it might be a little unknown with Lamar, but if he doesn't play, the Rams have to be higher than 4.5 because on a neutral.
Well, what do you want to say now? Cooper Rush is serviceable. He has weapons. But
I'm just comparing the point spreads and where these two teams would rank when you put them side by side. And I know they played in week 1, and I know where the point spread, closed like around 3, maybe 3.5.
Mitch, they'd be 1-5. I mean, they lose these next couple games, the season could slip away.
Well, at 1-5, how are you going to come back from that? The one team that comes to mind is
the schedule's doable. That's why. I wouldn't mind some come back and take some to make the playoffs if they're 1-5. Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals, Steelers at home, Bengals, Patriots. I mean, come on. They still have enough talent on offense that Cooper Rush just don't make a mistake, don't screw it up.
Yeah, one of those Rams teams, early 2000s, Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, they started 0-5. I want to say they came back and got to 5-5. And it's like...
Wasn't that Bulger?
Was it Bulger in for Warner?
I thought so.
Could have been.
You might be right.
I think they started 0-5, came all the way back to get to 5-5, and you're like, oh my God, here we go. And it never really took place after that because the 0-5 was too big of a hole to dig out of.
Yeah. It's going to be hard, though. Chargers are legit. Just a bad loss, weird loss. Chiefs are back. Take a look at Denver's schedule. Denver 2 plays away from being undefeated.
Of course they are.
But Denver's got a lot of winnable games coming up.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up. What would we say about Denver today if they didn't? I mean, that Colts game was ridiculous how they lost it.
Right.
And that's not on them. That's on a bad call by the referee there at the end of the game.
And then, the Knicks interception and the missed field goal and all that too. But then your 95% win probability against the Chargers as well.
I think
that's another one. Denver's going to win a ton of games. Denver's going to win more games than Baltimore. So they're really up against it.
By the way, Knicks really has it cooking with Cortland Sutton too. Mm-hmm. And they find that combination now, Dobbins being the lead back on the ground more than 100 yards last night. And
Get ready. Play at the plate. Here we go, Mitch. Sack fly. Now,
what did you need?
3-1 Cubs. I thought we were going to get a nice play at the plate.
Oh, it wasn't even close.
I know. That's a hot dog arm out there in center.
Jesus, man.
Merrill, come on. You got a better arm than he does.
Well, I mean, I had a cannon when I was younger.
Oh, boy. That was going to be a play at the plate. Second and third one out. Fly ball to center field and just a ridiculous throw. Oh, I thought we were going to get a ton.
You love to overreact.
Look at how far the ball was. You didn't think that was going to be a play at the plate?
No, God, no.
Right, so go ahead. 3-1 Cubs, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th.
I have no idea where I was. Doesn't matter. We can change. We can change whatever we were going to get into anyway. I think we were talking about the Broncos maybe and how good they could be.
Yeah. And the Ravens. Issues with the Ravens and the injuries.
Yep. And the other two, so you brought this up earlier when we talked about Darren Waller, comeback player of the year. They get the Panthers this week, Miami.
Should move the ball. Should put up numbers. No doubt.
And the Jets are just putrid.
Absolutely. Again, the defense. Guys wide open. Like Dan told us yesterday, they go for the candy. They do. All the fakes and the stuff and the gadget plays and the misdirections. Sauce Gardner now complaining about some of the calls going against them. It's not going to go well for the Jets. The other thing, when do you expect some quarterback changes? We can't wait to talk to T. Rizzo. He's reporting Gabriel will be in there for the Browns. Have you seen enough of Geno Smith?
Would you do that, by the way?
I would. If it continues early on in the game Sunday, I would take a look at going to Pickett.
So the Vikings are now 3.5. And when Tony Rizzo comes on the show in about an hour from right now, if he's absolutely adamant about Gabriel playing in that game, would that make you more inclined to bet the Vikings?
I don't know. That's a tough one.
That offense is one big stink bomb right now.
That's a tough assignment. Yep.
Do they get this
going
Jackson Dart infusion?
Right. Going against that defense, I don't like it. I
total down to 36, by the way.
Yep.
I see 35.5. Never mind. It keeps going down.
Well, I'm excited to talk to him based on what's the depth chart, why is Zappy running the scout team, and also that prop that was up at DraftKings.
How many starting quarterbacks?
2.5 over, heavily juiced to the over. And then it depends what happens in practice, but certainly the Raiders could make a quarterback change, take it on the Colts. This guy's killing you. There's just no way you should have lost that game. And he was pathetic against the Chargers as well.
Yeah.
Very good against the Patriots. But it's just, he could have had 4 or 5 interceptions in some of those games.
Here's another big injury, too, that we heard about today as Raiders offensive tackle Colton Miller. He got bad news on his ankle after they did some more testing on it. It's a high ankle sprain, hairline fracture. MRI revealed the sprain, and he is headed for the IR, which means automatically he'll miss 4 games there. I know some books, you want to talk about overreacting, they made Genty the short shot to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, which we talked about a little bit yesterday on the show. Mm-hmm. So when you factor in the really good run defenses that they played in the first 3 weeks, that's when Genty couldn't do anything because this offensive line for the Raiders is so below average.
Yeah, it's like Chase Brown. Oh, he doesn't have a chance.
No, you have no prayer. I mean, it's just, this is like watching Barry Sanders all over again.
Yeah.
So now with no Miller, who's their best offensive lineman, right? And consider this, that breakout game for Genty happened against the Bears defense. So we're not going to get those repeat performances unless Genty is just absolutely Superman on his own, because you take away another O-lineman here who's good, and you would factor in like when they play more difficult competition, teams that are actually decent against stopping the run, not going to go well here. And then I know you briefly brought up Geno there. What if he throws like 2 or 3 more INTs in like any game coming up? You got to pull the plug on this.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Unacceptable how he's playing. I think they have a good team and they have weapons. You can't turn it over like that. Horrible job.
Yeah, they got good parts.
Yeah, good. I know. Got a good, and they're well run. Great to get Chip Kelly in there as OC and get Carroll back. But
I think it's another team here. It speaks to how the offensive line is a major concern and how important that entire unit is overall.
Yeah, I'd also like to see them in a different division. That's the other thing. You don't stand a chance in that division.
No, that's going to be...
Chargers are better quarterback. Denver, great roster. Chiefs, forget about it. Circa caters to sharp bettors and big wagers, while DraftKings reflects a broader market perspective. Get our exclusive betting splits, pulling real-time data from both. Track the percentage of bets and handle on every game across every major sport so you can make sharper, more informed bets. Start your edge today, just $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe. Get it now. Everyone loves it. VSiN.com/subscribe. Game 2 is already up. Cleveland with their season on the line, $1.20. Total of 7. Cubs lead 3-1, top of the 9th. You want to get nuts? The Friars are 12-1 to come back and win. 4.5 the total. Over plus 380. Red Sox and Yankees in half an hour, 6.5 the total. Yankees $1.40, and then you got the Dodgers and Reds. Snell is $2, 7 is the total. What a day of baseball! 2-1 Tigers. They won Game 1. Scuba was awesome.
The Padres have 3, 4, and 5 coming up. Machado 0 for 2, Merrill 1 for 2, and Bogarts is 2 for 3 with an RBI so far in this game. Professional sports bettor Paul Stone on the program coming up next. We'll get into a couple of his best bets for this week coming up in college football here and Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
3-1 Cubs, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. And now they're going to debate something here that took place with Bogarts at the plate.
I didn't see what happened.
No, neither did I.
Anyways, this is a debacle. The Padres have 4 hits in the game.
Yeah, here you go. Totally again, I talked about a throwaway year earlier with some of these teams. This would be one of them. If they don't somehow get past this round, and it's not looking great after this. We'll head out here to the Progressive guest line to talk college football this week as professional sports bettor Paul Stone joins the program now. You can follow him on X at Paul Stone Sports. Paul, good afternoon. Let's start here. Great job by Alabama. Now, they didn't score in the second half last week, but to kind of get beyond that debacle against Florida State in week 1 now and to be really looking terrific for the most part. And Ty Simpson is playing excellent football at quarterback. That was a really strong performance on the road against Georgia to come out of there and win and cover that game. Now here you go. They're 11-point favorites, 10.5 some spots against Vandy. Roles are reversed, and kind of like back in that role that they played against Florida State in week 1 is a big favorite. But you think the Tide here keep it rolling this week?
I'll tell you, I'm going to start, Mitch, by talking about Diego Pavia. I mean, this guy is the heart and soul of Vanderbilt's football resurgence, physically and even statistically. Pavia doesn't appear overly imposing, you might say, but man, he gets the job done, has that it factor as an underdog, Diego Pavia is 2 years at New Mexico State, last year and this year at Vanderbilt. When starting, 19-5-1 against the spread as the underdog. He has won the game outright in 15 of those 19 covers. So incredible. But, I don't normally step in front of a, runaway freight train, but this is going to be one of those cases. Not to take anything away from Vanderbilt, but last year the Commodores didn't have they didn't have Bama's full attention. Arkansas, if you remember, they were off an emotionally draining 41-34 victory over Georgia. They got out to that 28-0 lead that you'll recall, and then fell behind in the final few minutes, only to win it on a 75-yard touchdown pass from Jalen Milroe to Ryan Williams. So an emotionally draining victory for Alabama that they were off of. Vanderbilt, they had lost their 60 previous games against AP top 5 opponents. They hadn't beaten Alabama on the field in 40 years. Alabama was favored by 23 points. It couldn't happen, but it did. Vanderbilt 40, Alabama 35. I think the Crimson Tide has got tired of hearing about that loss. There's a little bit of shame, might be too strong of a word, but a proud program like Alabama, they don't lose to Vanderbilt, and this team did. I think they're going to come back with a vengeance. I think they're going to be fully focused. They're going to give their, as I like to call it, collective team psyche since that loss, since that season opening loss at Florida State, rather. Ty Simpson and the Crimson Tide, they've been as good as anybody. I thought Ty Simpson was predictably shaky in his first start ever against Florida State. But, man, these last few games, he has been spot on, extremely accurate against Georgia. I think Alabama's going to roll. I made this number 14.5. It's only 10.5 at most spots now. If you're patient, maybe wait and see if it hits 10. But even at 10.5 or 11, I like the Tide by 2 touchdowns or more over Vanderbilt.
Great job, Mr. Stone. Good breakdown. Good luck to you. There are so many great angles with travel spots in the ACC and the Big Ten. Here's one here. Washington, off the big game against Ohio State, now goes to Maryland. Who do you like in that game?
Yeah, Maryland off to a 4-0 start, Pauly, behind the play of their true freshman quarterback, Malik Washington. But other than that 27-10 victory at Wisconsin, not a whole lot of meat on the bone to this point for the Terrapins. There are other 3 victims at this point: Florida Atlantic, Northern Illinois, and FCS member Towson. That's certainly going to change in the next couple of weeks. We're going to get an idea of who Maryland really is, hosting Washington this week and then Nebraska next week. First things first, though, and I believe this spot against Washington just strongly favors Maryland. While Maryland coming into this game is off a bye, Washington, on the other hand, was hosting top-ranked Ohio State there in Seattle, a much-anticipated contest. The Buckeyes ended the Huskies' 22-game home win streak, did it pretty much in workmanlike fashion, won that game by a 24-6 margin. The week prior, also, Washington had traveled to Pullman, Washington, to play in-state rival Washington State in the Apple Cup, won that game easily 59-24. But Washington off back-to-back victories, and now they have to travel across the country, across 3 time zones, to play an undefeated and rested Maryland that's had the opportunity to heal some bumps and bruises, do a little bit of a mental reset, if you will. And also, Washington, they're banged up on defense. Their standout cornerback, Takario Davis, he's not played since week 2. Uncertain whether he'll play this week or not. They've also lost a linebacker who is a returning starter for the year, has Washington. So they're banged up. I just put it all in the blender, mixed it up. It spit out Maryland plus 6.5. I think Maryland's going to keep this one close. I think they've got a lot of situational edges in their corner. The Terrapins plus 6.5 over Washington.
Good call. Terrible spot here for the Huskies. No doubt about that. They put everything into that game against Ohio State. Did not go well. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, professional sports bettor Paul Stone. He is on the Progressive Guest Line. Follow him on X at Paul Stone Sports. Now, a couple things here with a travel spot in an ACC clash. Now, Cal's back home after going to BC last week and winning that game 28-24. They're hosting Duke here, and Cal is a home dog catching 3. But, again, this is going to be a 10:30 p.m. start on the East Coast for Duke. The last time we saw something like this here against Cal in Berkeley a couple of weeks ago, Minnesota went there as a favorite, and they were never really in that game. They got blasted 27-14 to Cal. So do you like the home dog again in this spot, Paul?
I'll tell you, I do. And I want to start by saying nothing says ACC football like a late-night kickoff in Berkeley between league rivals Cal and Duke, only separated by a scant 2,800 miles. So a little bit different than Duke driving from Durham to Chapel Hill to play the Tar Heels, about 10 miles. But I do like Cal. First of all, Cal, they laid a stinker in week 4, had 3 turnovers, lost in an ugly way to San Diego State, 34-0. But otherwise, the Golden Bears, they've been solid, maybe not spectacular. They defeated, as you mentioned, Minnesota by 13 points, traveled across the country, as you also mentioned, this past weekend, upset Boston College 28-24 as a 6.5-point underdog. Both these teams in this game Saturday in Berkeley, both Cal and Duke, playing for the 6th straight week, but the scheduling dynamics and the travel dynamics very much in Cal's favor, in my opinion. Duke could be a weary traveler, no doubt about it. Not only are they traveling cross-country to Berkeley to play Cal, but this is going to be their 3rd road game in a 21-day span, and it's a body clock game, as you mentioned, going to be a 10:30 p.m. Eastern start as far as the Blue Devils body clocks. And then you look at Cal's true freshman quarterback. I'm not going to try. I'm working on his pronunciation, but in my twang, it would probably be ugly. So I'm going to call him JKS, their true freshman quarterback. He's been really good to this point. If you guys have seen him play, been really impressive. And there's the Justin Wilcox factor. If you follow point spread tendencies and performance, Justin Wilcox is really good as a home underdog since taking over there in Berkeley prior to the 2017 season. Cal, 14-5-1 against the spread under Wilcox as a home dog. Duke is really the better team probably on paper, but again, situationally, everything points to Cal. I think they're going to keep it close, maybe even win. Cal +3 over Duke in ACC football.
Very good, sir. Less than 2 minutes left. I might have to bring out the Bobby Petrino costume again for Halloween. What do you think of Arkansas now as Petrino comes in and then goes scorched earth and fires a lot of the defensive coaches?
Yeah, I'll tell you, first of all, Pauly, I've been talking to the Follow the Money Army, and they're all in on you being Bobby P again. It's a must do, man. That's classic. So please do that for all of us. I think Petrino obviously would have to be considered the top candidate. Possessions 90% of the rule, or whatever that analogy or adage is. But you got to consider, SMU head coach Rhett Lashley. This is a guy who went to the University of Arkansas, was actually backup quarterback to Matt Jones, played at Shiloh Christian High School in Springdale, Arkansas for Gus Malzahn. So he's probably dreamed of having the Arkansas job. But you've probably heard it said prior to me saying it today, the Arkansas job's not as good of a job right now as SMU. You can make the playoff out of the ACC if you're SMU. In fact, they've already done it. I think it's a very difficult road to hoe for Arkansas in the SEC. Gus Malzahn, he's played at Arkansas, former Arkansas offensive coordinator. You got to think he's a candidate as well. Maybe John Sumrall currently at Tulane, and maybe even Texas San Antonio, Jeff Traylor, the head coach there, gets a look. But to me, it comes back to Bobby Petrino, the interim coach. What interim coach is given the type of latitude to fire 3 defensive coaches, one of whom was a finalist for the Broyles Award just a few years ago, their defensive coordinator, Travis Williams, and he gets to fire all those people? They've given him carte blanche. It would be insane to me if he's not going to inherit this program, and I would do it now if I'm Arkansas. If he goes 1-6 the last 7 games, they appoint him at the end of the year, they'll say he did a terrible job as interim coach. So I'd go ahead. After this bye week, they don't play on Saturday, I'd go ahead and name him head coach Monday if they're going to do that. I think there's a 70% chance that they, the second time around, their hoping's better than the first, and they hire Bobby
Great
Petrino.
stuff, Paul. Yeah, we got to fly. Pizzeria next.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Do you like the service at Mitch and Pauly's?
I don't tip. You don't tip? No, I don't believe in it.
Leave us a tip on your way out.
You don't tip. You don't tip. What do you mean you don't tip? You don't believe in it.
The guys crack open the jar and see what the listeners have left behind.
So what, no f***ing TV now?
It's time for the tip jar at Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria.
Love it. Great open. Dynamite. Mitch and Pauly's Pizzeria Tip Jar, sponsored by Mama's Pizza, of course. Mama's Pizza, the only place where your pizza money always gets you a win. Check them out, mamaspizzas.net or the Mama's Pizza on Instagram. Tuesdays now during the football season. Send them in, be creative, and there's a lot of big boys now that were in the playoffs in Major League Baseball. Tim, Scheffler to win the Open. Red Sox make the playoffs. Cash them both. Bills win the Super Bowl. Cavs win the NBA title. 730 to 1. Cash out available at 9 to 1.
All right, so I would let this ride for the entire regular season, right? Assuming that
Could be the 1 seed.
What are the Bills right now?
Minus 230.
There you go. They're
One
minus
seed.
230 to get the 1 seed. So if you just, assuming that they stay healthy and that comes to fruition, if you want to look at the cash out, I think it'll be much higher than that in 2 months.
Yep. Good start, though. Eddie in New Jersey in August. Phillies win the National League. Red Sox win the American League. 150 to 1.
What do we think of the paths here?
Doable. It's too bad with Giolito, but the Phillies have been so good at home. I think they'll take out the winner of this Dodgers series.
Man, that if we get Phillies-Dodgers in the second round.
Oh, hey, Cubs-Brewers?
Wow.
Yeah. Phillies beat the Red Sox in the World Series 130 to 1. Cody in Minnesota. Bet it at Circa in March.
Wow.
Good job. Greg, Thunder win the NBA title. It's in. Phillies win the World Series. Bills win the Super Bowl. 266 to 1.
What do you want to do with that ticket?
Got to let that ride. There's a $30 free bet on Caesars. They will offer the cash out on Caesars. You got a ways to go. Let's see what happens with the Phillies. Phillies could win the National League.
Could he parlay... Right now, could he parlay the Phillies not to win the National League and the Bills not to win the AFC? Because then you're not going to be paying $7, $8 on the Super Bowl price or the World Series price, whatever the number might be. And then hope that ticket loses and then the Phillies make the World Series and the Bills make the Super Bowl.
I like the Phillies path. Wait a little bit. Yeah. Paul in Florida. Padres win the World Series. You're up against it. Dylan Cease for the season tomorrow.
Yeah.
Eagles, Ravens, Super Bowl exacta, 202 to 1.
Well, up against it with the Ravens now, too,
Tough.
because of the injuries.
That's right. Yep. Max in Ohio. Blue Jays win the World Series. Now we're talking. Rams win the Super Bowl. Miami wins the college football title. 8,568 to 1.
And the book took a bet on that?
Wow. This is like Rich in Canada stuff. You're right. Even if they gave you a small amount, that's your big boy.
Man, Blue Jays, think about that. Think about who they have to play in their first round here in the playoffs.
It's tough. Yeah. Yankees, Red Sox winner.
Yep.
Not bad. Difficult, not impossible.
Sure.
Tripp, our friend in North Carolina. Arizona State wins the Big 12. Miami, the
this is just to make the conference title game.
Yes, okay. Miami to ACC, Missouri SEC, Ohio State Big 10, Boise Mountain West, North Texas American. 175 to 1. That's not bad.
Well, there's an angle here with Missouri that all these teams are going to just cannibalize each other.
But they play 4 road games. That's it, or 3.
Well, and
3
they
or
have
4.
the easiest schedule in the entire country almost.
Uh-huh.
The other ones I'm absolutely on board with.
They got a shot.
I love them.
Bill in New York. Thunder win the West. It's already in. Panthers win the East in hockey. Count it. Lions win the Super Bowl. 109 to 1.
All right. Oh, very good.
Yes.
Again, if the Lions, if they stay healthy here, there was a point last season when they turned into odds-on favorites just to win the NFC. So if you wanted to, you could let that play out for a long time and then just start to hedge or let it, play out the entire time.
Seth in Georgia. Blue Jays win the division. Cash it. Europe, Ryder Cup. Cash it. Bills win the division.
Cash it.
Yep. Liverpool repeats. Luka MVP 53 to 1.
That's going to be the most difficult leg.
Why the Luka? It's good, though. He's in great shape, and I can definitely see it. He's on revenge tour. Lucas in New York. Tigers win the American League. Padres win the National League, 95 to 1. Well, looked good when you sent it in, but Padres just lost. 4 hits. Blue Jays win the American League East. Cash it. Saskatchewan wins the Grey Cup. Lee in Canada. Saskatchewan is 2 to 1 to win the Grey Cup at DK. He bet this in June.
Oh, 141 to 1 back in June?
Lee. Come on, Lee. You can maneuver now. You're the
Oh,
favorites.
man, that's...
You got the favorite in the Grey Cup.
Yeah, that's a great one right there.
Here's one from Michael. Scheffler wins the PGA. Exacta. Pacers over the Knicks. Panthers win the East. Oilers win the West. They're in. First four. Last one. Fever win the title. 70-1. You hope it's close tonight. You can maneuver. You're an 8-point dog.
And he never said if he maneuvered at all before this whatsoever. He's got to just beg and pray that they get the job done tonight. And
Just,
then
hang in. Get the lead early.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's in-play opportunities in this spot as well.
Mike, all World Series exactas. Seattle, Philly, 38-1. Likewise, Seattle, San Diego, Seattle, Milwaukee, 55-1. There you go.
Well,
you said that months ago.
Keying in on one team.
Up. Well, sign me up for a Seattle, Milwaukee World Series. I got no problem.
That would be one of my favorite World Series ever.
Yeah.
No exaggeration.
Chris, Ebert, Panthers, Rangers, Avalanche, Kings, division winners, 417-1.
Okay.
I don't know. Too early yet. Yeah, it's a Jonathan Davis question.
The Kings one will be very difficult.
Robert, Titans don't win a game. Saints don't win a game. 65 and 28-1. Both bets here at Circa. He also bet the Westgate. Anyone goes winless 8-1. Can the Titans do this? Have you seen enough? They can. Yes.
Oh, man. I always say no to something like this. Like I always wanted
It's
to,
happened, though.
before the current state of college football and what it's turned into.
Yeah.
Like early on in September, I would always say we're going to have under 1.5 teams go undefeated in the regular season. And it would always play out like that. Like one team would be shining at the end of the year. This thing here, I mean, every October we're talking about, my God, is this team the lowest power rated team we've ever had? And they'll win a couple of games.
Okay. And then he deserves his own couple minutes here. Like similar to Seahawks Sanders, who did this. Rich in Canada sent these in every week during the summer. He was getting down on division winners in baseball, and he did it. One of them was 560-1. Another one he cashed 90-1. The first one, Blue Jays, Brewers, Mariners, Phillies. Got it. Blue Jays, Brewers, Phillies. Got it. And he's got a Brewers, Blue Jays World Series exacta 400-1. He also has a lot that are still open, tied to like Boise makes the playoff, Tampa wins their division. He's got a ton of stuff left still open, all with those division winners in baseball. Great job.
I talk about this every year during before the baseball season, during it, and in the NFL as well. I like the parlay divisions. I've never had anything close to this before. 560-1.
Got it, yeah.
Betting it months ago on those four teams.
Absolutely.
So think about the prices that they were to get up to that big of a number.
Weren't the Mariners like 8-9 out at one point?
Oh, yeah, for sure they were, yeah.
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 And then Blue Jays, that's an upset. Brewers mini upset.
Oh, I'm sure early on in the season when he was
time.
making some of these bets,
Yeah.
the Blue Jays had to be a massive. Same with the Brewers were not. The Brewers, what was their win total? 83?
Was it?
They were not thought to be a good team this year. Average at best.
Took a bad beat last night. Mama's Pizza has your back. Feeding hungry Texans since 1968. They deliver the crust that beats the spread every time. The garlic butter on the crust. I ate it backwards. I love it. The best pepperoni and meat lovers I've ever had. Award-winning pies. Flavor that's a guaranteed winner. And when it comes to pizza money, don't waste it on bad bets. Hot slice from Mama's, where it's at. And if you're thinking long-term value, franchise opportunities available. MamasPizzas.net. The Mama's Pizza on Instagram, 817-870-2571. Let's get it up to 20 locations. The wings, the subs. They also have the gluten-free, the cauliflower crust that Mitch loves, the ingredients, the pound of mozzarella on every large. 817-870-2571. Football fans, there's a location half a mile from Jerry's World. Go get it.
We have Red Sox Yankees first pitch. It's scheduled for 6:08 Eastern time. 3:08 out here on the West Coast. That's coming up in like 14 minutes. Matt Vasgersian is going to join the program coming up next. Do you have a bet here on the game, an official bet on this one at all before it starts, and people could maybe get down on it yet? I have not bet it.
Give me Rosario props and Judge. I want Rosario props over and Judge props under.
You want total bases under on Aaron Judge?
Yep. He is hitting 165 in his last 23 postseason games with 35 strikeouts. And Rosario is 6 for 9 with a double and a home run against Crochet. He's supposed to be, I see him in a listed. He's supposed to be in the line. He's in the lineup.
Judge is under 1.5, minus 125 right now at some spots for the total bases. Matt Vasgersian's angles and best bets for tonight's action next.